Why do growing businesses love working in Slack? Let's ask Christy at Ari Bikes.
Running things in Slack saves me so much time.
AI summaries save 97 minutes per week. What say you, Rox from Gosney?
Slack helps us build community, it helps us build connection.
Your partners, vendors and customers all in one place. Take us on home, Ashley from Caraway.
If we didn't have Slack tomorrow, I would explode.
Well, let's not let that happen. Visit slack.com/podcast to get 50% off Slack Business Plus.
Hey, Chantel.
Hey, Roxanne.
Happy start of the week, guys.
Yes, let's do this.
So I'm super excited because I had some of our cousins on Patreon ask, like, are you guys going to watch The Valley, Persian Style? And I was a big fan of Shahs of Sunset until I wasn't. Towards the end, I was like, I don't really care for the show anymore. And I wasn't watching it. But like, I know like my husband, even my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, they loved Shahs of Sunset, you know? So I was like, are we going to watch it? And then I like watched the first 10 minutes and I was like, this is the best show ever. This is the best show ever. And you guys know how excited I get when we find shows like this. Like when I found McBean, I was like, this is amazing. And I think what it comes down to is history, real friendships. The casting of The Valley Persian Style is 10 out of 10. Like they brought Gigi back. They brought Reza back. They brought MJ back. All the like good people that they needed to bring back. And then they have this amazing casting that also has like a connection with each other. And I'm like, it's very hard to get casting right. And they did this with the Valley too. They did this with the regular Valley and they got casting right there where we didn't need the OGs. But for Persian Style, I do feel like Reza, MJ, Gigi is you do need them, but the casting is phenomenal. And literally after 10, 20 minutes, I was like, this is the best show ever.
No, it's so good. And I think we think it's so good too, because we can relate to everything that they say. Like you guys, literally everything to a T is like how we can relate to them. And because that's like what our culture is. And just like how you said, like my husband doesn't watch any Bravo shows, you guys, and it was just on in the background. And he literally watched the first 2 episodes before I did. And I was like, what is happening here?
I know. It's so freaking good. So this is, if you're not watching, this is your next show to watch because we are going to be recapping it. And even with OG Valley, I just feel like, Chantel, with Real Housewives, you know, obviously we love Real Housewives, but a lot of it feels very performative. Whereas in this just feels real. Like this is like real life shit.
I think with the Housewives, it's like we know the format so well, and we've seen the format happen so well, like where it's like there's a birthday party, there's 2 trips, there's this, there's that, there's a lunch. Like we kind of know like what we're getting ourselves into. But then with this, it's like they're chilling at everyone's houses, they're having barbecues, like it's way more relaxed and more chill. And I think that's why we feel like it's more real too, because it's like it is nice. It's like people actually cooking for each other and like having a good time at their houses, and just like not like you're right, like not so formatted and like performative like that we remember for Housewives.
And with Housewives, it's so much pressure, you know, when they have to talk about like, what are you each going to bring on to the storyline? And it's like, if a housewife doesn't feel like they're bringing too much, then they'll like target one person and it's all just too much. Whereas I feel like this is relaxed because with Vanderpump Rules, we had the same cast every year. It wasn't like if you don't do your job, you're going to get fired. Like, no, they always would keep the same people. And I feel like that lifts some pressure off. And I don't know, it's a really, really good show. So I want you guys to watch it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to give you some of our takes. There's been 2 episodes. I'm so excited to talk about the new cast, like the new people that have joined, because I think every single one of them are great. But Chantal, I cannot believe, I guess I didn't know that MJ works for the agency.
I didn't either until she said that.
And we don't really see, and at least in the first 2 episodes, her actually working. We see her like leaving work and then saying, I was at work, but we don't see her, you know, like actually working. I saw an interview, I think it was Reza, and he was like, when Shahs of Sunset ended, like he was saying he lost himself. He said he eventually like found himself, but that's all that they knew was this reality TV. So it just made me think about MJ, who then ended up saying like, okay, I have to go work, and then works at the agency.
Yeah, because like, imagine like I don't know how long Shaw's ran for. I know it ran for more than 5, 6 years for sure, but I don't know, right? Like they ran five,
Yeah.
6 seasons at least. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like imagine they had that and then they're making money and then they're getting all these like influencer things and all this stuff and then all that stops and it's not coming back because it's not like it's the Housewives where some stayed on, some didn't. And you're literally just like, what should I do with my life? And you
Yeah.
you do have to go make money because no one is that smart enough to save money for the rest of their life. And it's too hard. Things happen, things change, and you spend money.
Exactly.
Even
So
housewives, there's no way all these housewives are saving money for their retirement, to last how their lifestyle is now for the rest of their lives.
exactly. So it was funny though, because MJ was like talking about cosmetic surgery, and she's like, she literally advised everyone get as much cosmetic surgery as possible. She definitely has that motto that it's like when you look good, you feel good. But MJ, not all of us have that money to do all of that, but she does. So good for her. And it's crazy because at this point, her and Tommy are over. So we are going to watch the demise of her and Tommy's relationship. I cannot believe they lasted 7 years, but it's
Wait,
going to be.
I had no idea that they were over until like I started like Googling stuff and I was like, wait, like, cause like when I was watching this and I was thinking about like what Tommy was doing exactly, like how he wasn't going to be there for her during this like filming and like not hanging out with the friends. I was like, this is not going to work. You could not just take a big part of someone's life and say, I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, no, I know. Golnessa has a 5-year-old, which is crazy that Elijah is 5 because we watched her pregnancy journey. So that's how like long I feel like it's been. And she's looking for a new place. She's never had a job her entire life. She says Shaw's of Sunset was her first job ever, but she can't like continue to rely on her father. And Reza is showing her houses, and he is like, this is the house. Or wait, in one of the houses that he showed her, Chantel, because he said that a lot of the Persians have taken over the valley too, just like how when our family came to America, a lot of us came to Michigan, or a lot of us came to San Diego and Arizona. So it's like the same thing. And then there are certain areas where it's all for us, we're Middle Eastern Catholic, Chaldean. So you wouldn't know what a Chaldean is. We talk about this. You wouldn't know what Chaldean is unless you're literally from San Diego and other areas in California or Michigan. You wouldn't know, but we're all there. And then there was a house that Reza shows her. He's like, this, and you see those curtains, Chantal. I don't know if you noticed. It was like,
Yeah.
he's like, this is how the houses we all grew up in as Middle Eastern. It was just so
It was the
relatable.
curtains, it was the chandelier.
Yeah, and that
It's
was
like
like
very ornate style. It's like very ornate traditional style that like he was showing her, and that's like literally all of the houses.
and we'd go into our like friends' houses and stuff, and they would have plastic wrapped around each couch. And then there would be a dining room area, and we would not be allowed to go into that dining room area. But it's like apparently nice couches that to me are the scariest looking couches. And they're wrapped in plastic. They're all wrapped in plastic. Everything was wrapped in plastic. But you know what? That's the difference between our parents and then us, because their furniture held up because they did that. Whereas, and if you look at my table, if you guys look at everything, like even I bought new dining chairs, Better Homes and Good, Walmart. I know this is crazy. They have such a fantastic line of furniture, and it's so nice. But I just got new chairs because I've gone through 3 different kitchen chairs, and because my kids end up messing it up. And I got covers, but they're like cute covers, and it still doesn't even help. But I don't want to be like our parents and get the plastic stuff because I want it to still look kind of cute. But that's a difference with our parents and them being able to have nice furniture last the entire time we were children, because they keep the furniture, they don't change it. So children until we're older.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's literally how they made it last so long is because they didn't let us sit on it and like we were so scared to do anything
I think
in
about
those
Chantel.
rooms.
I think about Chantel's childhood quite a bit because she, like, her mom is such a clean freak. I feel like Chantel never saw color growing up, never had toys. And it's not like her mom had a lot of stuff, but if they did get like a Christmas present from anyone, your mom would throw that immediately. And I'm just like, that is so crazy that you had a good childhood.
I just like wish, yeah, and I guess it goes to show that you don't need stuff to have a good childhood, you guys. But I really would love a therapist to like really sit down with her and see what she would diagnose her, because she has OCD. She there's no way, like there's no way she doesn't have like an issue, because I don't understand why it bothers her so much to even have like one thing that like is extra in the house.
No one's worse than her. I'm not gonna lie. Like Chantel, we went there for Thanksgiving this year. They used to have some toys for the grandkids. She throws everything away. I'm like, I don't understand. And it's like hidden in the basement. She hides it in the basement in the corner. So it's not like she sees it every day. What's bothering you? Why are you throwing this away? And so there's nothing. They had a balloon, or my cousin Chloe, Chantel's sister, brought, what are those things? The balloon thing. And they just
Yeah, it was
blew up
like you
for the
just
kids. So
yeah, you just have balloons. You just have balloons that you for the helium tank, and like we just blew up balloons, and that's all the kids played with all day.
oh my gosh. I mean, it worked. That was really, really smart. But yeah. But yeah, so back to Reza, like, he says that he was just a walking zombie, didn't know who he was, but he adjusted to normal life and things have been great for him. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And now they're back on the show. We meet Sky, and Sky is newer. She was not on Shaw's. And Sky has 10-year-old twins. She got married at 27. They are 19 years apart. Just so you guys know, that was so normal growing up, massive, huge gaps. So normal.
Yeah.
Like my aunt and uncle were over
15.
Which one are you talking about?
I think the only one that we had a younger aunt.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We had a younger aunt, and they were like 15 years apart. And then like our grandparents, obviously like over 10 years apart. And so that is such a normal thing. So it's no surprise at all that Sky is, and her husband are so far apart. His name was it Bamshad? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. The one thing that was interesting about their relationship to me, though, is like, she made it seem like they didn't care to get married. It's like they had this like, fun lifestyle. She didn't want kids, and then boom, she's married and has kids.
And that's not normal for Persians, for Chaldeans. Like
exactly.
We're raised to think that marriage is the priority, that, when are you going to get married, have kids, all that stuff. So that is very shocking to hear Sky say, I never cared to get married. How old is she now?
I don't know. She has to be in her 40s.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, because I mean 27 doesn't seem that long ago, right? I'm trying to Skari age. She is, it doesn't show. See, they're too new that it's not showing. It says late 30s or early 40s. So the show's too new to know. Actually,
I would definitely say 40s. I mean, and sorry if you're not in your 40s, but I would definitely say 40s.
Very early 40s. So back to Reza. So Reza says Persian gatherings are wild. They love to party, and ours is the same. But I do feel like in the Persian world, just Middle Eastern world, it's always about who can do a better party. So it does feel a little bit like a competition type of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're Latina, it's not like that. I feel like they just literally come to our house, let's have a good time. And it's not about having this grand party. They just all
I feel like too.
Yeah.
I feel like too with the Persians, like when I'm watching them, and it could just be this group of people, like they love to drink and party, and like with like us, it was like we couldn't drink that much. It's like you can't drink, you have to like almost like.
But this day and age, Chantel, like growing up, but this day and age now, when anyone party, it's exactly that.
Yeah, that's true.
But our parents they were boaters, like they didn't drink like that except the dads. Like my mom doesn't drink, Chantel's mom doesn't drink, none of them drink. Now women drink. And thank God for that is all I have to say. Thank you.
And it's actually funny because like our moms were so shook at us like starting to drink when we got older, and then even like the dads a little bit give us side eyes, but then now our uncles like they love to give us a drink and they love to cheers with us. It's so funny how like things change, like when you just like when you just like kind of give them when you kind of show them that you can handle it, and then it's fun, it's fine.
Yeah, we're just all older now, man.
I know.
God. Do you think Tommy is valid for not wanting to be around Reza and Gigi because they weren't around? See, you didn't watch, but it did get so bad and toxic with them. But what are your thoughts on that?
I could definitely understand a little bit, but then time has like went a lot, and like she's back on the show, and you agreed for your wife to be back on the show with you. And at this point, like I said, like if you're gonna deny this whole part of her life that's important to her, you're gonna have issues. And like, look what happened. She's gonna be pissed.
So Mercedes says when Tommy does this, people ask why her husband doesn't come around. But to him, he's like, it's a valid reason why I don't come around. And the thing is, Persians, Middle Easterns, they care about how people view their marriage. Even if they have like a horrible marriage, they try to portray like they have the best marriage, possible. It makes me wonder, Chantel, do you think that MJ would have left Tommy if it wasn't for her being back on the show, where she feels like, you know what, I don't even need you and you annoy me?
I think they still would have like probably been done. I think it took a little bit though, but for sure they would have been done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are introduced to Natasha, and stunning, beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
So gorgeous. Golneza met her at her kid's school. And it's crazy because, again, when I see this, I'm like, this is relatable because you become friends with the other moms because you have, and you guys have no history. It's not like, oh, we went to high school with each other. You think that, and you don't end up being friends with the people you went to high school with. And then you start all over, but you can form such a great bond with the people at your school, other moms. Like I have gotten so close, especially with my oldest daughter's class mom. So it's crazy. And she's like, she was saying like, that's how we became BFFs. And I just saw that. And I'm like, dude, that's so crazy. Cause that's so relatable. Like that's all I hang out with now.
I know, like that.
Yeah. You're not
nice.
there yet. Huh?
What if I told you that 2026 is the year you launch your business? Maybe you've got an idea you just can't shake, or that hobby that everyone in your life is telling you to sell. Taking that first step and finally taking action can feel impossible. But with Shopify, all you need to turn your dreams into your new future is at your fingertips. Make 2026 the year you transform into the entrepreneur, founder, and boss you were meant to be. And the one powerful move to make it all happen is starting your business with Shopify. Shopify gives you everything you need to sell online and in person, giving you all the tools to easily build your dream store. Choose from hundreds of beautiful templates that you can customize to match your brand. And you can set up quickly with Shopify's built-in AI tools that will help you write product descriptions and headlines, as well as edit product photos. Millions of entrepreneurs have already made this leap, from household names like Gymshark and Mattel to first-time business owners just getting started. Marketing is built in too. You can create email and social campaigns within Shopify to reach customers wherever they are. And as you grow, Shopify grows with you. The same dashboard that you start with will evolve as your business does to handle more orders and expand to new markets. In 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. That's shopify.com/realm. Hear your first this new year with Shopify by your side.
Año nuevo, los mismos Extra Value Meals en McDonald's. Ahora te puedes llevar 2 snack wraps y papitas y una bebida mediana por solo $8. Solo por tiempo limitado. Precios y participación pueden variar. Los precios pueden ser más altos en Hawaii, Alaska y California y con entrega.
I'm Mandy.
And I'm Melissa, and this is Moms and Mysteries.
We're two Florida moms obsessed with true crime. From infamous cases like Ellen Greenberg to shocking Florida stories like the Dan Markel killing.
With 55 million downloads, we bring you new deep dives every Tuesday and Thursday.
Listen to Moms and Mysteries on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the darkest corners of our imagination comes a game show that's more ridiculous than terrifying. Welcome to Tickled to Death. I'm your host, Roz Hernandez, and I'll be guiding guests through the creepy questions and chaotic games, all to win the ultimate title of Horror Movie Champion. Listen to Tickled to Death wherever you get your podcasts, and hit follow unless you want the show to follow you.
The Regency era. You might know it as the time when Bridgerton takes place, or it's the time when Jane Austen wrote her books. The Regency era was also an explosive time of social change, sex scandals, and maybe the worst king in British history. Vulgar History's new season is all about the Regency era, the balls, the gowns, and all the scandal. Listen to Vulgar History Regency Era wherever you get podcasts.
From the parents behind Law & Order comes a mystery the whole family can enjoy. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries. Step into the whimsical world of Patrick Picklebottom, a precocious 11-year-old with a love for reading and an uncanny ability to solve mysteries. Inspired by the beloved children's book of the same name, this podcast vividly brings Patrick's tales of deduction and everyday adventures to life as he unravels baffling enigmas and solves clever cases. Patrick Picklebottom Everyday Mysteries is perfect for kids and is just as entertaining for grown-ups who love a good mystery. The whole family can listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
The war is over, and both sides lost. Kingdoms were reduced to cinders, and armies scattered like bones in the dust. Now the survivors claw to what's left of a broken world, praying the darkness chooses someone else tonight. But in the Shadow Dark, the darkness always wins. This is old school adventuring at its most cruel. Your torch ticks down in real time, and when that flame dies, something else rises to finish the job. This is a brutal rules-light nightmare with a story that emerges organically based on the decisions that the characters make. This is what it felt like to play RPGs in the 80s, and man, it is so good to be back. Join the Glass Cannon podcast as we plunge into the Shadow Dark every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/theglasscannon with the podcast version dropping the next day. See what everybody's talking about and join us in the dark.
This podcast is dedicated to my younger self because she really needed it. She couldn't keep a man or a job. Welcome to Broco Therapy. I'm your host, Stephanie Macon.
I'm your co-host, Rose McAleese.
Every week we dive into dating, sex, and relationships. We are not professionals, but we bring professionals on the pod to give us some advice. Listen to Broco Therapy wherever you love to listen to podcasts. Therapy is too expensive, but this podcast isn't. Broco Therapy.
Hi, I'm Mike Carruthers, host of the podcast Something You Should Know. And in every episode, I talk with world-class experts about fascinating ideas that make you understand your life and the world in a whole new way. Recently, we explored why your brain requires friends to stay healthy, how pockets secretly shaped history, and the surprising science behind morbid curiosity. If you like learning things you can't wait to tell someone else, search for Something You Should Know. Start with any episode that grabs you. I'll be there waiting.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more. You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.
Welcome to Mick Unplugged, the #1 podcast for self-improvement and modern leadership. I'm Mick Hunt, your host, and I'm here to challenge your why and fuel your because. This is where leaders, entrepreneurs, and go-getters come to level up. Each week, I bring you unfiltered conversations, game-changing strategies, and the kind of motivation that transforms lives and legacies. I've learned from legends like Les Brown, Damon John, and Robert Irvine. And now, I'm bringing their lessons, along with mine, straight to you. From modern leadership tips to creating unstoppable momentum, this is the podcast that redefines what's possible. Hit play, subscribe, and join the millions who've made Mick Unplugged their go-to source for growth and greatness. Because your next breakthrough is just one episode away. This is Mick Unplugged, the voice and face of modern leadership, entrepreneur, and self-improvement. Let's get started.
Do you guys hear that? Oh, that's our podcast, Ruin, brought to you by me, your host, intrepid horror movie freak Hallie Kiefer.
And me, your resident scaredy cat, Allison Leiby. Join us each week as Hallie forces me to listen to the twisted plot of yet another bone-chilling horror movie.
From classics like The Exorcist and The Thing, to the latest releases, to the most disgusting films on streaming, we ruin them all every Tuesday, wherever you get your podcasts.
So come join us, and until then, we beg you, please,
keep it spooky.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say that, like, you know, like it's so hard to make friends, especially when you get older. So like, if you can make friends with your kids' parents, like that's so refreshing and like just a new phase for you.
But the nice thing about it is you can actually relate so much and so well to those people because you guys are like going through the same exact thing. So that's what's really nice.
Yeah,
so,
that is nice.
Gigi's annoyed. She needed a ring fix. She went to Sky. Sky apparently isn't someone who specializes in repairs. She says it was a favor to take Gigi's ring and fix it, but she is delaying on it. And here's the thing with that. I can see both things. Okay. Gigi, I would not send my ring if someone doesn't specialize on it. And also, Sky, don't take the ring if you're going to think you're doing me a favor. And because you think you're doing me a favor, you're delaying it.
And if you're gonna take 10 years, like that, like she took like almost like years, she said, and if someone asked you multiple times, like, hey, where's my ring? Like I would die about that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you keep delaying it. So yeah, like I think both things I understand. But Chantel, do you think that we are, and I don't want to say her name wrong, and I'm so scared that I'm about to say her name wrong. Are we Tanine?
No.
Okay, I feel like we are a little bit. Tanine is just not affectionate. And I died when she said that Greg, her husband, is her.
But I think that part for sure, like where she said she's not affectionate.
Yeah, when she says that she's not affectionate, I died when she said that Greg, her husband, like I said, is the adopted child, because I feel like a lot of people do feel like that. And her love language is falling in love with actions. And I feel like most women are like that. So I feel like watching her, I could relate to that a lot.
I think for her and her relationship, like what stood out the most to me is that like they just seem like two different people right at the point that we're watching them. You know, it's like at one point maybe they did really fall in love and they were really different. They were really like similar, but they're very different. Like with what we're watching.
Yeah, and you know they've been married for 6 years. But for them to be married 6 years, like she is saying things like she calls him her brother. And I was like, oh yeah. And Reza says Tanine is so pretty that if he was Greg should be worried. And she tells Reza, listen, I am so grumpy. No one's going to even approach me. So basically like the whole RBF. And I don't know. I just thought she was funny. I do love these parties with all the kids. It feels like early Housewives. And again, I think that's why I really like the Valley. But back to Gigi. So
Roxanne just wants people to invite her and her kids.
I know, yeah.
To the parties.
I love parties that they include kids because it's hard, man. And paying a babysitter now, we used to do that shit for free. It is so expensive what these babysitters expect. So yeah, I would love that. But Gigi gets the ring back and she says Sky effed her ring up. But again, Gigi to me is crazy to go to someone who doesn't specialize in rings. So I like Natasha and Roman. They have 3 kids under 5, which is kind of like, you know, me, like the 4 kids, 6 and under. And did I call him Roman? I meant Amir. I don't know why the hell I just called Natasha's husband
Amir.
Yeah, I'm so dumb. So I like Natasha and Amir. I can relate to them. Natasha's like, she wants no more kids. She wants her body back. That's literally how I felt. Even after seeing Nia from the original Valley, it's like, I knew I wanted 4 kids, but I wanted to get it out of the way because I wanted to feel like myself again. So Natasha and Amir seem like they have such a solid relationship. And I love that for them.
The reason why you could tell is like, you know, just like even them doing the little nuances of daily life. And like, maybe it's because they knew cameras were there. I don't know yet. We don't know them that well. But like, he would slap her butt and he'd be like, good job. He would give her compliments of like, just like them, like putting their kids to sleep. And I was just like, this is like how every man should be, because like that would motivate a lot of women to like be like a wife, be a good wife.
To be soft, you know? And
Yes.
we'll talk about why he is the way he is. But Sky and Tanine are BFFs, and they are going through life marriages. And Sky says it's hard because after 17 years, Tanine, because it's been 17 years, it's a long ass time. And Tanine's like, okay, look at me. I have almost 7 years, and they both have separated rooms. Do you think that that's an indication that your marriage is over?
No, I think you can. I don't think so. I think you can do. I think it's doable, but it is a little bit a slippery slope.
It was odd because Sky says it's because of the snoring. And then she was like, my husband's so in denial. So that's obviously not the case. However, I do know men, not my husband, but I know men who literally snore disgusting. And I am so sorry if I had a man like that. And if he did have that problem where he snored like that, I would never, ever be able to sleep in a room with someone like that. Like I just saw a TikTok of, it was Antonia Gorka when they went to Aruba, and she or I don't know if it was Joe who posted it, but she was in the bathroom and it was her brother. Like they recorded the brother and he was snoring like crazy. And then Antonia was in the bathroom on the floor and they're recording her. And she's like, I've been in here since 2 a.m. I cannot sleep because of him. And it's his snoring. And everyone in the comment was like, you guys really need to get that checked. That's pretty bad. But I would need to sleep in a separate room, period. I don't care if anyone indicated that my marriage was over for that. If I cannot do noise. And if you guys have been listening to us for a while, you know that noise bothers me. So, and noise bothers a lot of you guys because whenever my text would go off, you guys would go cray cray. So I don't think that means it's over if you have a reason.
No, so like even like my parents also they share different rooms now because like no one's all like we're all got married and out of the house, but like it's because my dad snores. So like why would you want to sit there and have bad sleep every single night if like they're not going to get that checked out and taken care of?
Yeah. So Sky, Gigi, Tanine, Mercedes, they have a girls' night. Sky doesn't live. Was Natasha there?
Yeah.
By the way? Okay,
Yeah.
Natasha was there. Sky doesn't live in the valley. She says it's far from everything. And that's so valid because I like convenience. So I'd rather live somewhere that's convenient than living somewhere far and probably like getting a better house or whatever it is.
Wait. Why did I think that she had to move to the valley recently? She doesn't like it. She wants to move back. Like she wants to move out of it.
No, she doesn't live in the valley and she doesn't like it.
Okay.
I think she actually lives in like Beverly Hills. So
Okay. I mean, I know Galnessa's like, you know, she's so desperate, like she'll do anything for that area code. So maybe you're right, but like you can tell she's she looks down on the valley for sure.
Yeah. And I was dying when Reza clocked that Sky and Tanine's husband are more closer than the couples are. And it was weird. There was something that was like weird is like Greg was saying that he's broke and that his wife is not. I didn't really like understand that he's broke and you know his wife has his own money. I don't know. I didn't get that.
I didn't either because he was like she uses her money to travel, which is okay, that's fair, but like also it's like why don't you have money to travel then?
Yeah, I don't know. Was he joking? I
don't think he was joking.
Tanine is trying to have a baby and she's like, it's become a chore. We you know, and they've done everything. They tried everything. And you know, I could see knowing that we've known people that once like sex becomes a chore, that the chemistry will absolutely go away after that. Because it became a chore, it's like not fun anymore. So then even after, you can't get back to what it was, you know?
I wonder for them, like one thing that I feel bad to even say this is like, because I hope they work out is like, you can kind of see the writing on the wall for that relationship. Do you agree that like maybe after a season or two, they're not going to be together?
I think Tanine is, well, we'll talk about why. And it goes back to her accident. And I don't know. I feel like it's not there. And I feel like I want more for her already. I don't know. So Natasha's husband opens up about his story. That is, his first wife passed away. She had cancer. And he says it was a big part of who he was, that they were trying to do IVF and have a baby. She found out through IVF that she had cancer, and life is just so short. It broke my heart. So as she's going through IVF, she thinks like it's working, and then she's like in pain and it's cancer. And they were planning a birthday together, and it was so sudden that she died. And I cried when he spoke about her passing. He says that the cancer gave him a lot of anxiety with his kids. They go to the doctor a lot. But when his wife died, before she died, she told him, like, I want you to move on. And if you died, Chantel, would you want your husband to move on?
I think if we didn't have kids and like if I died right now, yeah, I would want him to move on.
Yeah. I would want my
like, I mean, you can't live your, you can't, like, if like you found a great person, a great girl, even if you did have kids and they're going to take care of your kids, like, so amazing and treat them amazing, like, why wouldn't you? Like, you only have one life to live.
I don't trust nobody with my kids.
I know, but I'm saying, like, what if, like, you did really find an amazing person? Like, what if there really was an amazing person? Like, why wouldn't you want them to have that?
Right, but, like, they'll never treat your kids like their own.
Of course.
So it's like, I would want my husband to move on. Just don't get married and don't bring her in the house. Like, just like, go on dates and do all that stuff, but just don't let her live in the house is what I want. I don't know how realistic that is, but that's what I would want. Because I feel like men aren't as they don't pay attention to things, to signs, where us, we do. So if we were to move on after if our husbands pass, like, if there was like something off, like, I would clock that right away and be like, get away from my kid right now, but anyways, and like, I feel like women, they don't even actually know. Cause I swear every time on TikTok, they're like, people are like, after they got divorced, look at this man, my husband said that no one would ever want 3 kids. Look at me, I'm married already. And I'm like, okay, why are you married already though? Just like focus on yourself, I don't know. I'm a little judgy about that. But he said that after witnessing that, he was not going to take life for granted. And what's crazy is when I'm watching the show in the beginning, I'm like, they seem like they have this solid relationship, marriage. He seems like he helps quite a bit. And it's obviously like what he went through that made him be this type of guy.
Yeah, he has a different perspective than a lot of people. He knows what it means to like have someone get taken away. So he doesn't take his wife for granted. He doesn't take his life for granted. He doesn't take his kids for granted. That's for sure. And I feel like a lot of us live our day to day with taking like complaining and not just like living with gratitude. And he lives with gratitude. You could see it.
Yeah.
I love him. He was amazing. And I'm sure that's hard for Natasha. Like, I wonder how that would be like, when you know that someone was married before and like he loved her so much, but she passed away,
I know. And then he saw her like, basically like crumble at the end. That would be hard. But again, it made him the man that he was. And I guarantee if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be that husband to the full potential,
For sure.
Mercedes is hanging with Natasha and she's like, God, she is just so perfect. It's annoying. And I swear it's maybe because she has such a solid foundation that she's able to come across that way.
Yeah.
Now, Reza meets with Gigi, and Gigi isn't getting approved for a house. He says she spends so much. And in the Middle Eastern community, it is normal to talk about finances. And I think it's normal, like, not normal to talk about it. I think for us, like the older generation, they'll be like, oh, how much did you get your house for? What are you paying? And our parents specifically, everything is about money. They'll be like, how much did you pay for that? They always ask us, like, when we got married, what did they put in your envelope? Like, it's normal to talk about those things, but Gigi gets triggered anytime like someone calls her out about finances, which is kind of normal.
I mean, Rexy, she said that she spent $3,000 on weed alone. That's crazy.
Yeah. And Gigi does snap at Reza, but that's maybe why you don't go through friends, I wouldn't use my friend, especially if I'm in a pickle like that and my finances and credit are so bad. But
was this the time when she talked about how she like makes her money, some of her money, or no?
It might have been, yeah.
Because she basically says she has an OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. She did talk about that.
Because she was making it seem like she doesn't have any money and like and stuff like that. But it's like, yes, she does have money. She just has bad credit. Like, I don't know what her credit's for, but she has money to be able to pay for these houses, and they're making it seem like she can't.
I'm surprised that her dad still supports her with like an OnlyFans account, because usually in the Middle Eastern community, like if a dad knew that you do that, he'd be like, okay, get money from there. I'm not supporting you anymore. Like that's
I guarantee she's
embarrassing.
Yeah, I guarantee she's made it like to the dad. Like the OnlyFans is like a social media job.
Yeah. It's Persian night. They're hooking up Reza Jr. with someone. Is Reza Jr. your type, Chantel?
Absolutely not.
Never. Red flag. There's so many red flags with him. So many red flags. I'm so sorry.
I've never liked a fuckboy. Like I know a lot of girls do. I've never liked it. Like even if someone comes across that way, like I never liked it. No, thank you.
I also don't like men who care so much about their appearance. He seems like someone who takes selfies or take mirror pictures. He seems like someone, He seems like someone who would pay attention and like know if I hadn't gotten my fresh manicure done. He seems like someone who would always want me to look like 10 out of 10. And I want to look 10 out of 10, not because you want me to look that way, because I want me to look that way. So he's definitely not my type at all.
No, thank you. He's very eccentric, however you say it.
Yes, I don't like that. Okay, so so at Persian night, they're talking about Gigi's finances, credit at the party, and she walks in last. And it's funny because when Gigi walks in, they're like, "You're usually here first. What happened?" Well, you guys, producers happened. They had her come in last on purpose. And as soon as Gigi comes in, Mercedes says, "Everyone's talking about your credit." And Reza's like, "Who says that?" And I get like, I'm like with Reza here. Okay, at least wait a second. Listen, I get why Gigi's mad. I would be pissed if everyone was talking about that. So she is so valid for getting mad, but I would be so mad at Mercedes.
Yeah, I think she like jumped the gun way too soon, like to go right away and snitch and tell her. Like, okay, tell her a different time. It's like it wasn't even brought up in conversation yet.
She ends up leaving, which was valid because she's like, "I'm not going to be here if you guys are going to talk about my finances." But prior to that, at dinner, they bring up Sky sleeping in separate rooms, and her husband is not happy. Men, her husband's age, they especially do not F with people talking about their marriage, even if it's like a messed up marriage, especially he's like older. He's like considered that generation. So I'm sure that was like, why are we talking about this on camera?
No, but like I agree. Like I felt bad. Like if he felt like he got blindsided by it, and like he's like there's other couples looking around, and he's like, shit, like they're gonna think that like we're not doing well or something.
I was dying, by the way, when Taneen's mom, we see about how she brings them food and then she always will come and collect her pots, because you guys, that is a whole thing in our household with my with my mom. Like, thank God for our moms. Like, they will come and, I'm thankful for my mom because a lot of the time, like, I'm working, I have no time to make food for my kids. She'll bring a pot of food but the only thing is my mom is so scary and she gets crazy if one doesn't eat it, which you know how it is. There's one kid that won't. They're very picky. And she'll call them and be like, "Did you eat my food?" But then my mill is so crazy about pots. Like, if she'll be like, "Where's my pot? Where's my pot?" So I just thought it was so relatable that Taneen's mom does that, because that's literally how we live.
It's nice that Taneen's mom does that too, because it's not like she has kids, she's just bringing it for them.
Yeah, usually it is like when they have kids, but I feel like when actually my mill though, she did that stuff when we didn't have kids. So I don't know. But
you got married. You had a kid right away, girl.
When I was pregnant is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I had a baby, but when I was pregnant, that slime place is my kid's dream. I was like, where is that? That looks so freaking fun. And Gigi is real because she said that Persians, Middle Easterns are secretive. Like, you don't talk about other people's finances, which is crazy because Reza said that finances is a big thing, like that you do talk about. And, I feel like a lot of people, again, in the Middle Eastern world, they just want to make it like they have so much more. Now, when Mercedes tells Tommy about Gigi walking out, I died because he thinks everyone is so over dramatic. He has a strong opinion on everything, but so does Mercedes.
Yeah, they like the reason they got married makes sense to me, like they do. Yeah, like they're not like, it's not like they're opposites. It's just like it's like you have to grow with each other. You have to be there for each other.
Yeah. When Mercedes and Tommy go on date night, Tommy is just like that's just who he is. The guy, like, that's who she married. It's not like he changed once they got married, but when they're in the car, they're joking and reminiscing on a card he wrote, and he calls her a dumbass. And like, she just looks at him. She's like, "Don't do this. We're on a date night." And I agree with her. Like, that shit would get old.
That would piss me off. Like but that's why I don't know how long they dated for, because I didn't watch Shahs of Sunset to know this. But when you are dating someone and like they're like funny and they're always cracking jokes, it could be cute for like a month, and then it gets really old really fast, and then it becomes annoying when they're constantly cracking at you. Your son is now doing the thing that their dad does. Like, I would get so annoyed, and then I would look at him like he is like my brother. Like, you're an annoying little brother.
Yeah. Reza Jr. Talking to his mom about having kids was cute. You can tell Reza Jr. is their whole world. It's their only kid. So they are probably itching so badly for grandkids. And, they want to be the best grandparents and all that stuff. And like even like us, Chantal, our parents, like they really are the best grandparents. Like they show so much love to our kids. So I can see why they're itching for that. What did you think of? Well, actually, what's so crazy, when I watched Sophia and Reza Jr. acting so touchy the first time they hung out because they were trying to hook him up, I was like, ew, that's like such a red flag for both of them, because I feel like if a man was so touchy, I'd be like, red flag. And if a woman is, I'm like, red flag, because like he's not going to take you seriously. He's not going to like want to look at you as a wife. Like that's just how, especially in the Middle Eastern world, it is. And they end up going on a date night. And on the date night, Sophia acts a lot different here. And she calls him a different name, which was crazy. I was shocked by that. Did you catch that? She called him the wrong name.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like I did clock how she acted so different too on the date, and I loved that for her. I thought that she did such a good job. It's like she baited him by like being touchy on the date, like on like at the dinner party, and then now she's like standing her ground because she's like, if you like me, these are my standards. Like this is what I need. Like I liked how she was acting on the date.
So I had written notes about her but then I took them away because and she could have been a little bit buzzed, but it seems like she clocked the red flag of him being so touchy that she was like, let's get to the bottom of this. And let's see, like, here's what I expect, like, all that stuff. And then then we found out that after the date, he's like, it wasn't a match, and he's like, dodged a bullet, and I was dying.
Because like he is a fuckboy, so it's like when someone like he kind of is like this. So if someone's already stating their like standards at the second or like really their first official date, he probably was dying like low key inside, like I can't handle this.
Yeah. Mercedes and Tommy on date night. Mercedes is telling her, or is telling him what's wrong, and that or what's wrong with their relationship is that, the way he talks and jokes is impacting their son, where he makes too much jokes. And anyone who jokes too much, like it's a stressful thing. And I understand what she's saying with that.
100,000%, you guys. It would get so old and so annoying. Like when people take jokes on at your expense, like it's like not fun. Like even like people used all the time with clown about me talking louder or talking fast, and it's like it gets old. It's like okay, or like sometimes I don't know how to spell right. And it's like if they constantly are saying that to me, it's like, okay, you're annoying now. Like you guys already know it, so stop. Like let people be themselves. And I know that's contradictory because we're like let Tommy be him. But it's like I think he goes overboard just to piss her off more.
Yeah. When the men are together, he's like, who said he's like, I never, oh, okay. It was Natasha's husband. Natasha's husband said he never goes to the bathroom in front of her, and she doesn't go to the bathroom in front of him. And he says, why would she? It's too weird. You know what I respect about her husband is like the fact that he doesn't, it's one of those things where he's like, ew, Natasha, like don't go use the bathroom, but then he uses the bathroom in front of her. Like I like that they both just don't. I don't think anything's wrong with that. A lot of people, like men, would be like, ew, that's weird if a woman does, but then they like literally like pass gas. They do whatever they want, and it's like, no, that's weird. So I cannot believe what Tanine went through. I was so shocked about her story, about just seeing the car accident. And I think that's amazing that Greg was with her through that when they weren't married. So it sounds like they were dating a little bit. That happened, and he actually stayed with her. And I do feel like, as effed up as it is, I always see on TikTok, whenever the woman gets sick, like all in the comments, they always say like, I am a nurse, or the men never show up, or the men leave the wives. Like it's just way more common. They're like, you wouldn't believe how much more common, and how the woman always like sticks with the husband and takes care of the husband. And for example, what's that disease, ASL or something? Rebecca Gayhart's ex, Eric Dane, I think, has it. And like, she's been taking care of him quite a bit, even though they're not together. And I was like reading comments, and everyone's like, if that was the opposite, like he would never do that. Which we don't know that, but it just shows you like with them not being together, like she is stepping up for him, and it's just more common for women to do it. So it is nice to know that Greg was there for her, and they seem newly dating. But what I thought was interesting is that Tanine said that had it not been the accident, she would have never taken Greg seriously. And they call it like they were trauma bonded. So I think that's very important and kind of explains their relationship.
100% it does. And that's why I'm like, I don't know if I can see it going far any more than what we're seeing now.
Yeah, I know. But then I also like feel like she's better than him. I don't know. But
he seems like a good guy though. Like he seems like a good guy, but it just seems like they're so different to me. I don't. That's like what I think. But he seems like he's a, he's cool. He's loyal. He's faithful.
Okay, well, here's the thing that I didn't like is when it came to their relationship is, for example, he doesn't seem as comfortable when his wife is kind of out there. And then
But that was so valid. Like I loved how he explained it. He was like, she's like, you're out. He's like, I go to people's homes. And like, that is so true. Like I wouldn't like, we always see this, like, we don't care if our husbands go out if they're going to their friend's house. But like, if he was at restaurants and like bars and just, if you're at the bar, just hanging out, like literally like the bar seating at a nice restaurant, it does give like, why is she always out?
I mean, I get it. But then we find out that he's given his phone number, Instagram years ago. He was texting someone at 2 a.m. And even if he was like, yeah, but I showed you, look how she texted me. Like, that's weird. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
That's so weird. Like, you're gross. Like, ew, 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 ew. So I want to talk about the final scene. So the final scene is like, again, MJ is obviously not happy. She's not happy. And she tells her mom, and her mom is like a typical boater mom where her mom is like, who cares? Like, Tommy's good. He like at least takes care of the kid. What do you mean? Whatever. So the mom meets with Tommy and I feel like she almost went into it wanting to have Tommy's back to be like, here's where MJ is coming from. And like, I don't know, but he didn't take it that way. What did you think about the conversation? Obviously, she's too involved. I can agree with that. She's very, very too, like way too involved in this relationship. So I get that could be very, very annoying.
He came in very defensive. I mean, like, and as anyone would, I think, like, if someone's coming to tell me about my relationship and like how, like, if like that was my mother-in-law telling me how her son feels, like, I'd be very defensive and go crazy. So like, I think the way he came at it was valid, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, yeah, it was valid. It was just like, he scares me a little,
I know, but like they definitely are very comfortable. It's like they're with each other all the time and every day.
And that's what it looks like, is that they are very, very comfortable. So I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't think she was like coming from a bad place, but then it is a lot that she is on them, Overall, you guys, this is a great, so good. Such a freaking great show. Please tune in. Please watch. Like, this is one of those shows I'm going to get very passionate about. Chantel, like, we're both so invested. So, we will do, we'll recap it way sooner than we did now. We just, had a lot going on last week, but we will recap it way sooner. But let us know your guys' thoughts, what you guys think about everything. I'm so curious to hear. But thank you guys for listening, and we hope you guys have a great week. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Welcome to Mick Unplugged, the #1 podcast for self-improvement and modern leadership. I'm Mick Hunt, your host, and I'm here to challenge your why and fuel your because. This is where leaders, entrepreneurs, and go-getters come to level up. Each week, I bring you unfiltered conversations, game-changing strategies, and the kind of motivation that transforms lives and legacies. I've learned from legends like Les Brown, Damon John, and Robert Irvine. And now, I'm bringing their lessons, along with mine, straight to you. From modern leadership tips to creating unstoppable momentum, this is the podcast that redefines what's possible. Hit play, subscribe, and join the millions who've made Mick Unplugged their go-to source for growth and greatness. Because your next breakthrough is just one episode away. This is Mick Unplugged, the voice and face of modern leadership, entrepreneur, and self-improvement. Let's get started.
Hi, I'm Brandy Basanti. For the last 15 years, I've starred on one of the most successful reality shows of all time, Storage Wars. On my new show, The Real Reality, my guest and I will reveal the real story of what it's like navigating fame and notoriety. Because it's my show, I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. No filters, no rules, no network executives. And I believe that's what the world wants. Raw, real, authentic, and I'm gonna fucking give it to you. Though success is great, being in the public eye can come at a cost. Oftentimes, what you see on camera not the real reality. On each episode of my show, we'll sit down with a different notable individual from the world of TV, film, sports, or internet fame. We will explore their unique story, what really happened on and off camera, how becoming famous has truly impacted their lives, and what their vision is for their future. In a world obsessed with celebrity, followers, and subscribers, the true story is often lost or even buried. This show will reveal what really happened. This show will reveal what people really felt. This show will reveal what fame is really like. This is the real reality. Subscribe now, wherever you get your podcasts.
There are names that echo in the world of true crime, names that carry unanswered questions. Oakley Carlson, a 5-year-old girl who deserved safety, protection, and love, yet the system built to protect her failed, and Oakley disappeared. Her community still calls her name.
Or Ellen Greenberg, found in her locked apartment with 20 stab wounds, a case declared a suicide. But how does a locked apartment tell two different stories at once?
These are not just cases we have covered. They are people. They were loved, and they mattered.
Their stories deserve to be told with care, with depth, with truth.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Ricky.
We are the husband and wife duo behind Crime Salad.
Every week we uncover stories of the missing, the silence, the misunderstood. We ask the questions that were left behind. We refuse to let these stories be forgotten.
Because behind every case is a family holding on, a community seeking answers, and a story that deserves to be heard.
We invite you to listen to Crime Salad,
your healthy portion of true crime, wherever you get your podcasts.
Look, we all know there are a lot of celebrity interview podcasts out there, but there's only one, Happy, Sad, Confused. I'm Josh Horowitz, and yeah, I'm the host of the show, so I'm a little biased, but truly Happy, Sad, Confused is the place for nerdy and intimate conversations with all your favorite actors and filmmakers. From Andrew Garfield and Scarlett Johansson to Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. For over 10 years and over 700 episodes, Happy, Sad, Confused has broken movie and TV news every single week. That's because I ask all the questions I want to know, and more importantly, you want to know. Casting what-ifs, backstage stories, acting pet peeves, and much more. So whether you're into superheroes, prestige TV, or just the coolest actors and directors alive, you're going to learn something in every episode. Listen to Happy, Sad, Confused on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There are vampires out there. They walk among you, shoulder to shoulder in the dark. Heading to work, heading home, going to the bar. It's a life just like anyone else's, and I have grown used to it. To the darkness, to the moon, to the taste of blood on my tongue. But vampires are dying out. We are a fading kind, and I am the first one created in so long, and that is a dangerous thing to be. Those who came before me, elders of all stripes, they do not want to see our kind gone, and they will do anything to keep their power. And for myself, and for Grace who created me, that is a sword that hangs above our heads. And the worst person of all carries our secret, and he will use it however he sees fit. Who do you look to when things are at their darkest? From the creators of Parkdale Haunt comes Woodbine, a podcast about monsters, dreams, and changes, those you want and those you never saw coming. Season 2 arrives September 24th, distributed by Realm.